I'm here in St.Josheps, Spanish Pint here, and on a week out from the All Ireland, Big All Ireland's finally here for the school, and I'm joined by Paul Reidy, who's in management here over the team. Welcome, Paul.
Thanks a million.
Huge occasion coming up, Paul, for West Clare and for football in Clare, and obviously for the school.
Yeah, no, massive. I suppose it's a new experience for the school here. Hasn't happened before, and something we're really looking forward to. Really good for the school. Real buzz here amongst the staff, amongst students, parents. Central to all discussions here at the moment. So, look at, I suppose it'd be great. We'll enjoy it now over the next week and put our head down and look at. We never thought we'd be preparing for an All Ireland final, so it's great to be there now.
Yeah, preparing for an All Ireland final is hard work to get there. Hard work to get out of Clare. We had a tough battle in getting out of Clare, especially within the time there in the final. So once you get out of Clare, you probably set your sights in. We're going out to Munster. We're going to do.
Yeah, look, I suppose we had targets all year that we wanted to achieve. I suppose winning the Munster Championship was one of them. We had never looked past that, to be honest. And look, we worked hard. The boys trained exceptionally hard. I'd have to give them huge credit in that they gave a huge commitment. Like, whenever we trained, we were all there. They trained during the Christmas holidays, trained during October midterm, trained during the February midterm. So, they gave us everything we've asked for and 10 times more. And look, it's for them. This is to be enjoyed for them. Getting to an All Ireland final is a great experience for them. And look, I'd have to say they couldn't have done any more for us.
Yeah. Outside of football there, I was struck by the young lads I interviewed there. The lovely mannerism they have and the nice young mint that they are. And that's a quality that you can bring into football, obviously. But, they're great guys.
Yeah, well, I think that's an important part of any team, or any team that wants to be successful. You have to have guys that are determined, confident, willing to work hard, able to stand up for themselves, and there is a great spirit amongst the team. They are a great bunch of lads, and things like that matter when you come to the last 5 minutes of games, and people need to make that extra run, or they're doing it for each other. There's a real sense of camaraderie amongst the group, and a huge loyalty to the school. I'd have to say amongst this group, obviously all of them do it for themselves. In a way, it's about being individually successful, but there's a real passion for playing in the school jersey and for representing the school, something that maybe you haven't always had, or you don't always get. School is school at the end of the day. It's not your club, but when the going has got tough in the last couple of games, there has been something more than just doing it for yourself. And a huge credit to the boys for that, and hopefully we'll see more of that in a week's time.
Yeah. I mean, when the lads are going around there with the top you have on there, St. Joseph's Spanish Pint, Munster Champions 2023. That's huge. Just that stamp on your chest. That's a huge honour, and that will go through the whole school, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, and people are getting excited. A lot of our kids are talking about supporters buses and things like that, and getting ready for the game and colours and flags and all that sort of thing. Yeah, no, it is hugely important for the school. We haven't been that successful, and we've always taken football really seriously here, both men's and ladies football. Yeah. But these times are to be enjoyed, and it's great for a school, great for a school community to have this big event to look forward to in a week's time.
Yeah. Not many get to an All Ireland final, and it's a huge occasion for not just for the school, for the county. It's even people that won't be at the match, they will be waiting for that result to see.
Yeah,
and they'll be looking at it as a Clare thing rather than a Spanish Pint, or rather than to get that result. People in America, people in England, they'll be they get the paper and they're reading and they want to know how do we get on.
Yeah, no, and while I agree 100% what you're saying, this is massive for Clare football. When any football team at any grade, at any level, get to an All Ireland final. But I suppose here at the school, while we understand that, this is very much for us. We spoke to the players about it when we're training an hour and a half, an hour's time. This is about us. This is about our school, about our players, about our clubs. While, it's of huge interest across the county, I'd like to think there's a real determination amongst the group here now that this is an opportunity for our school, for our players to make a bit of history and there's a real determination, I would sense, amongst the group to drive on next weekend and have no regrets, I suppose. That's a big thing. Like, we don't want to be looking back in 2 weeks' time saying if we did this or we did that, or, if it was played again, we might have done something differently. So, look, I'd like to think amongst the group that, we're training today, and media and all those things are going to be put behind us now, and we're really focusing on the game.
No, yeah. It's almost a kind of an inter-county team, an inter-club team. So many of the local clubs around here, your own club, Kilmahel, Milltown, Dunbeg, Courtlair, I'm leaving out
Kilmurray, Western Gales. We've our sub goalie plays Western Gales. Yeah, look, but there's a great collection within the school anyway, and there's all the kids that are coming here, and there's other clubs be represented in other age groups, but just not in this group. So our net is cast far and wide here for the school. We have a lot of students coming in, even over Kilmaley direction, boys who play hurling with Kilmaley, up Lahinch direction. So, and that's minus. So there's a lot of clubs represented here in the school, and we have a graduation mass every year. We have 6 or 7 flags, up in the pole representing all the parishes they're coming from. So, yeah, it's far and wide, but we always say here, in particular, the 4 big clubs that come in here, Dunbeg, Courtlair, Kilmurray, Brecon and St.Josheps, Milltown, that we're at our strongest when all 4 clubs have a contribution to make. If only 3 of the clubs were represented in this panel, we mightn't be as strong. But when you have 4 clubs, and in fairness to the 4 clubs, numbers might be tight in West Clare now, but in fairness to our 4 clubs, they really produce quality. Anyone that comes to our school, maybe it's because we put a huge emphasis on football. Anyone that comes here from those 4 clubs is generally real quality, in terms of their sport and in terms of their football. So we're very lucky in that way as well.
Yeah. I was very lucky. I got to play the Munster final in 1976, and we were lucky enough to win it in its vocational school. When I look back, ever since that day, all those guys are still my friends, and Kevin Merrin was our manager, and we looked upon Kevin Merrin as being almost like a saint. Like the work he had done was like he'd give his time. There's a few more fellas with him, but the bond it created for the rest of my life, that still goes on, and that's what you're doing now. In 20 years' time, in 40 years' time, they look back to this time in their life as being obviously the happiest, but the friendships they will have made will last a whole lifetime. And I know this, and they will look at you as being the Messiah, probably.
There's no Messiah. There's other names that will be selected to call me in a week's time if we don't win it. But look, at something that is hugely important for me is school is about happy memories and happy experiences, and that's as principal of the school here. That's probably I take great pleasure in seeing other people happy, whether it's our staff or it's our students, and that's the biggest form of pride for me in this. That our boys are so happy with what they've achieved. They're not content, there's more hopefully to come, but that they are so happy in what they've achieved. And I'm hugely excited about the final, looking forward to it. I can only imagine what the players are like. I'm not even playing in it, and I'm like a child thinking about it. Yeah. But that's for me, the biggest happiness I take from the whole thing is seeing them happy. And it's the same with Sean, it's the same with Paul that are there with me. Yeah. This is all about them. It's not about Paul Reidy. We've loads of other coaches in the school that could have taken this team and probably driven on with them. But the last day after the semi-final, when we came, we spoke in the corner for a minute, and then we went back towards the parents. Probably the proudest moment I've had in the school, and I'm here 16 years, was, to see the happiness amongst the parents hugging the boys. That was a real sign for me that the culture within the boys, within their parents, within support from the school, and football is a small part of our school. If you look at, we have a lot of people that come in here that don't play sport and have an interest in that, and we try to foster that in the school with young scientists or choir or things like that. But to see them hugging their parents and the happiness and the joy, that memory will stick with me for the rest of my life. But that's what you try to foster here, I suppose, for them.
Yeah, and on that side of things, Sean O'Brien, David Reidy and Paul Dillon, you were the principal of this school, obviously. a principal itself, like, is a hugely responsible job and a huge time consuming outside of the school hours, I'm sure. You all have, you have young families, you have a lot of things going on, you have partners, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and you're giving this huge commitment to outside of on your own time to these young people, like, and to the school itself as well, like, you know. So the boys will get the medals and they'll get the position, but you know, for you, like, it's a super. So
Yeah,
give that time to people, to
I
young
suppose it would be a
people.
good time to mention our patient wives.
Yes,
That's the
absolutely, yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
Look at, I get huge satisfaction from seeing the boys, as I said, happy.
Yeah,
And the best way to make them happy is you give them your time. They've been successful is a huge part of it. You know, wanting them to be successful. You're not doing it for yourselves, but we'll go down training now, and I will enjoy the next hour as much as I'll enjoy anything else for the weekend. Working
yeah,
with boys that are giving you their heart and soul, that are training hard for you, that are working hard for you. That's the payback we get. And seeing them successful then, while obviously it's a nice feeling to be, a very nice feeling to be facing into an All-Ireland final over a team, you know, at the same time it's all for them. And someone said to me during the week, they said, I think it could be my mother said to me, she said, God, it must be hugely stressful on the sideline. And I said, well, I wouldn't use the word stress. I said, like, to be honest, if you're not enjoying this pressure, well, why would you have got involved in the first place?
true,
You
yeah,
know, if you can't be happy being the sideline in All Ireland final,
yeah,
you know, when are you going to be happy as a manager or a coach? And look, at obviously trying to win it is it's a huge challenge for us now. And look at that. When we go training out today, it's complete tunnel vision to Saturday week and the job we have to do. A real tough job by the best team we've played this year. It looks like, you know, so we're really up against it, but we're going to enjoy it and we're going to have a right go at it.
and that's the key, isn't it? To enjoy this time and to, if you can enjoy it, you've got to give it a good
Yeah, yeah.
give it a good crack. Paul, I wish you the very best. We're very proud of you outside. I was outside of the looking in, like, is- you know, walking in through the school today. Young people were out on their break, and you know, it was lovely to walk through them. The lovely young people, and to go into the school. It's a joy, like, and to see that view out there, and I can imagine the looking out there, the inspiration you would get from coming to a school like this.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
no, it has been. Look, at things have been very positive here. There's very positive culture, and kids. I'd like to think all our kids are happy. Our footballers are exceptionally happy at the moment, anyway. But I'd like to think everyone is happy, and maybe that's why the numbers have gone. And we, as I said, we do place a lot of emphasis, and can't make everyone happy in life. But you'd like that in 20 years' time, as you mentioned before, that when you meet somebody, that they talk about their happy experience in the school rather than maybe a negative part of it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Paul Reidy, congratulations to getting to the final, and we'll see you up at the final. We're really looking forward to it. And thanks very much.
Thanks, Millen. I'll run away out to that.